Hello everyone, in this video we're going to learn how to create metadata profiles in Media Producer. A metadata profile is a powerful tool in the ingest process. When you apply a metadata profile to an ingest workflow, you're making sure that every single bit of important information about that material is ingested with the media, so you can easily search and find it in your project asset management or editorial management system. This is also a great tool to standardize the data user input. So let's see how it works. We're going to go over the Workflow tab. Only administrators have access to it. And here, on Metadata Profiles, I'm going to click on Add Metadata Profile. The first thing I want to do here is name my new metadata profile. It can be the name of the production or the workflow, for example. It's just a name to identify it. I'll name it General Metadata. Next, I'll click on this plus sign button right here to create my first field of metadata. On this first field, I want to know what is the story ID, for example. Since this information is crucial for my production, and everyone that is going to do an ingest has to know this information beforehand, I'll make this a required field. This way, the user can only ingest the material after filling out this metadata field. All new fields are marked as visible by default. You can uncheck it if you want. Next, I'll choose what type of field it will be, and we have a few options to choose from. First, we have text field, which is a free text field for the user to type in. Then, we have text label, where you can type a default value, and that information will be displayed on your ingested clip. Boolean field is a checkbox. With list field, you can provide a list of values that are going to appear on a drop-down menu. With date field, the user can pick a date from a calendar. Time period field, the user will be able to select a time period. With disk label field, Media Producer will display the disk label of the media that is going to be ingested. Check-in folder, the user will have the ability to select the folder for check-in in Media Central or in Interplay, for example. But for this one, Story ID, I'll pick text field. I'll hit save. Now I'm going to create the second field of metadata. And this one will be to inform the media manager that this came from a file-based ingest. I'll name it ingest type. I'll leave it visible. The type of field will be a text label, and under default value, I'll type in file-based. I'll save it. Now I'm going to create the third field of metadata, and this time I want the user to flag if the material can be used on the company's website as well. I'll name it website OK. It will be a required field, and it's going to be a Boolean field. I'll hit save. Now I'm going to create another one. This time I need to know who shot the footage. I'm going to name it photographer. It's going to be a required field, and it's going to be a list field. Under options, I'll list the names of the photographers so the user can choose. I'll put John, Paul, Ringo, and George. I'll save it. Now I'm going to create another one. This time I want to know the date of the shoot. I'll name it date of shoot. I won't make this a required field, and it's going to be a date field. Under options, I'll set the date format I want to use. I'll put month, day, and year. I'll save it. I'll create another field. Now I want to know the retention period for this material. This will be a tremendous help for the media manager. I'll make this one a required field. Under type, I'll select time period field. Under options, I'll put days. I'll save it. Now I'm going to create one for the disk label, and it's going to be a disk label field. I'll save it. And my last field will be the check-in folder field. I'll save it. I'm gonna save my new metadata profile. Now that my metadata profile is ready, I can apply it to an existing ingest workflow. I simply select the ingest workflow I want to apply this new metadata profile to. Click on the Edit Ingest Workflow button. I can now select my new metadata profile from the drop-down menu. Hit Save. And that's it. Now, if I select this ingest workflow on Ingest, I can fill out all the metadata fields I've just created. If I don't fill out the required ones, I won't be able to ingest. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.